Hello, everybody. What an Easter it has been this time. I've had a lovely Easter. I hope everybody's had a lovely Easter as I have. I can't believe it's over and done with already. Don't seem 2 minutes ago since it was last year. And that's the time, isn't it? What does actually time mean? Hello, Tonya. How are you? What does actually time mean, that word time? You know, we think we've got lots of time and we're always working towards it or something that's got to do with time. But really, time doesn't exist. We just think it does because we've got a clock. Now, if you wear a watch, you know, people used to wear watches. I don't think people wear watches as much as they used to do now. But we always have time on our phones now because we seem to have them in our hands more than anything. But when you think about actual time, when you go to sleep at night, it doesn't exist. You go to sleep and you wake up whatever time it's going to be. If you've got an alarm, it's set, isn't it? So really, in theory, time actually stands still, doesn't it? Because when you close your eyes and go to sleep, you've gone to sleep, and then before you know it, 7 hours have passed. How can 7 hours pass? And yet when you're awake, when you're 7 hours past, it goes like that. But when you've been asleep, it just seems to take forever. It's really interesting when you think time and space. Hello, Kira. How are you? New on to this show. Love your accent. Bless you. Whereabouts are you from? I'm from Lancashire, a little place called Chapman near Clitheroe. And I have a little ice cream shop. So I meet lots of people with lots of different accents, and I like them too. And I love languages. And I'm learning a couple myself, but I do like language. So it's really interesting about time. That's what we were talking about. And the thing is with it, it doesn't really exist. We just think it does because of clocks. Oh, you're in the States. I'm off to the States in May. I'm off to Virginia in May for a week. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping the weather's going to be nice. I haven't checked the weather out, to be fair, but I'm hoping it's going to be nice. Hello, Kerry. How are you? So, so the time and space between the numbers doesn't really exist. So when you think about the zeros and the ones that's in between and the seconds and the minutes and such thing, and they go like that, don't they? It's because we time ourselves, or we look at the watch, or we look at the clock, or we're clock watching. When you clock watch, it never goes by, does it? It's interesting, that, isn't it? As a remote viewer, there is no time and space between when you remote view something. So if there's something happening, like say France, for example, you know, just say, for example, somebody's on holiday there and they've gone to a concert, yeah? And when you ring them up and you'll say, oh, are you there yet? And they'll say, yeah, I'm just here now. And then you'll think to yourself, how can the time there that you've actually sent that phone call takes time to ring somebody, and it's the same, but it's actually an hour ahead, isn't it, in France, I feel. So it's interesting when you look at that, the numbers that's in between the numbers when we look at time. I know it sounds very scientific, but that's what I'm really interested in. What's in between them zeros and the ones? Or why are they actually zeros and ones and not zeros and twos? Or zeros and threes? The binary, that's why they call them binary codes, don't they? So there's lots of zeros and lots of ones. Hello, Rebecca. How are you? Hope you've had a lovely week, as I have. We need to have a catch-up. She's a lovely lady, Rebecca. I met her in a camper van. I have a little shop out that I live in, and it's called Hudson's Ice Cream Shop. So I've been selling ice cream today on this lovely sunny day that we had here. And I met Rebecca outside my shop one day, and we become very good friends. So this is how you meet people, isn't it? You know, you meet people randomly on a daily basis, but sometimes you're not conscious of them because sometimes you're in your own thoughts and you're listening to all your thoughts that's going on throughout the day. But when you actually stop, like I said, buy an ice cream or have a cup of coffee, you then can sit and contemplate on your thoughts. And that's when you meet new people because they're thinking just like you are. So it is lovely, isn't it, when you meet new people? And the interesting thing, when you do meet new people, they become lifelong friends. Okay? So the more people that you meet, the more enrichment your life will be. Okay? And it's interesting, as I'm just sat here, you know, because I had a gentleman that was with me earlier, and I just asked him who we needed to speak to. He didn't actually say to anybody who we wanted to speak to, but just said his name was Morris. Okay? It is an interesting thought, Joe, at time, because really it doesn't exist. So, okay, a gentleman by the name of Morris, unless he wants to speak to somebody here. Yes, I agree there, Rebecca, the beauty of the universe. So the interesting thing, as this gentleman came forward, because obviously we're talking about time, he knew I was going to be speaking about that this evening. So I'm sensing this gentleman had something to do with maybe watches or clocks. Because as he's coming forward, he's just showing me a grandfather clock. And I think he's showing it metaphorically to say that he's a natural grandfather. Okay. So as he's stepping forward here, and I'm asking him who he needs to speak with, he just said Mo. He just said the name Mo. Or did he say Joe? I don't know if he said Joe or Mo, but that's when he came closer to me. And it's interesting how he showed this grandfather clock, because it was quite an old one. So I'm suggesting, as he's coming close here, he were an elderly gentleman when he passed. Okay, so as he's coming in here, Maurice, what to be known as Maurice. Okay, so anybody take this gentleman? I do know he's coming with lots of love and lots of energy here for somebody, because somebody had been asking lots of questions about the grandfather today. And don't know if they actually knew their grandfather either. This as he's coming forward here. He's shaking his head. Okay. You used to know a Morris called Mo. Okay, Kira, we'll see where we're going with this gentleman. This gentleman, okay. He said, I lived in a remote part. Some remote parts. Okay. And as he's coming close, he's showing me his outfit now. He's got braces on. And these trousers with a white, like granddad shirt on, just a white shirt, and his sleeves are all rolled up. But the interesting thing about his shirt, it's just like really clean. Okay, I'm just asking him, come on. He's showing me this little house now that he used to live in. It wasn't a big house, but it was like on a prairie, if you want to call it a prairie. Like there were lots of grass around it. Okay, there wasn't any more houses near him. Okay. Come on a little bit closer. Why are you showing me that? He's showing me his house. Okay. He was a very proud gentleman. Okay, this is what he's coming with here now. And he's also going to something on my face here, so I'm suggesting. Come on. Okay. He used to have a bit of a beard, this gentleman. Okay. He said, I didn't have much on top, but I had plenty here. That's what he's just saying to me, okay? Feels like he's somebody's grandfather. Or come on. I was a grandfather. He said he was a grandfather. Okay. Okay, it's talking about, okay. I just got the impression of Knots Landing, if you remember that program. Okay, and as he's coming closer here, I do know this gentleman's got a nice glow to his skin. Okay. Not saying he's weathered is not the word I'm looking for. He's got a nice glow. I'd like to say he's just got a nice glow to his skin. And he's obviously he were getting on a little bit when he passed. And as he's coming closer here, he's showing me his house. And the interesting thing, it looks more like a cabin more than a house, okay? Because as I think of a house, I think of roof, but he has got a house, but it looks like a cabin, okay? And it's on a prairie. That's what he said to me, okay? And it's like it's out in the sticks, as we would call in the UK, like out in the sticks, whereas it wasn't nearby anything in particular, okay? But as he's coming closer here, I'm sensing that somebody here, he wants to live out in the sticks, okay? They've been asking questions about it. Shoulda, shunta, shoulda, shunta. Well, he's just coming forward to say you should. I don't know if you can take this information, Kira, but it's a lovely energy with this man. Very, what's that word I'd like to say? A very placid man, patient and placid. And you're very good with his hands. Can I ask his race? Okay, his race. I can ask. Interesting thing, he just said Colombian. That's what he said to me. I'm Colombian. He's just taking me to this prairie. It's not who you know, but just said Colombia. I don't know if that's where he actually lived or he's from Colombia, because I was talking about the house. But I do know it's somewhere warm, and it were out in the sticks. That's interesting about it. It was out in the sticks. The interesting thing with this gentleman, I don't see any pictures in his house from his family or out like that. It just seemed like he was some kind of, I don't know, some kind of like a guru type of a guy, like a, very spiritual man. Murray, he's coming again with Murray's. Yeah, that's the word, a recluse. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you for that, Stace. But also very knowledgeable. This gentleman was very knowledgeable. He didn't need to be with people. He was fine as he was. Somebody's been asking about going to live in a cabin, or talking about going to live in a wooden hut type cabin place, to be nearer to nature. That's what he's just said. They want to be nearer to nature. I don't know if you can take that information, Kira. He's also shown me the initial L, so I don't know what L means to you. Can anybody else take this information? Come on, Morris. He was quite a spiritual man. I can see a wooden cross on the hearth, if I would like to say on the hearth. Above the fireplace, I can see a wooden cross. So he was quite a spiritual man, but also a religious man. Can anybody take this lovely gentleman? I'm just going to ask him just to step back a little bit now and allow somebody else to come in. That's if he allows. You've no idea of the L. Okay, Kira. I don't know if you're learning something new, or spiritual for that matter, because it couldn't always necessarily be a name. It could be for learning something new. But he was very spiritual. He was very knowledgeable, this gentleman. And the interesting thing with him is he weren't a man of many words, okay? His actions were more important. I don't feel like he's been through before, because he's just mesmerised by it all. And that's what happens when we pass into the next stage of life, that we don't know how it's going to be or what the expectations are. But as he's coming closer here, he was very knowledgeable, and somebody's been asking questions about how it would be like to live in the sticks or out away from society spirit. So there you go. They decided to take us out. I'm just going to ask him to step back a little bit now and allow somebody else to come in. Okay, we've got coming forward now. Come on. Okay, I've just got a lovely lady that's just jumped in. I don't know if I'm still with you, Kira, but the name is Jane. Jane or Jade, you just come in a bit closer there. Jane or Jade. Come on. The energy from this gentleman is not stepping back a little bit.
Hi everybody, sorry about this. I don't know what's happened. I think Mandy's lost her signal or something. She's just messaging me to tell me what's going off. I hope you're all well. I hope you all had a good Easter. And we will get back to you as soon as we can. Yeah, she's going to try and get back in now. So fingers crossed. Looks like the spirits are messing. Excuse the hair. I wasn't expecting to be on camera tonight. But yeah, it's all coming off in May. It's all been changed. So how's everybody been? Who had the most Easter eggs? Hi Joe, hope you're well. Don't forget guys, we are streaming to both YouTube, and I am trying to stream it to Facebook, but I think there's an issue there. It's streaming from Mandy's page, so people can get the links from there. I have shared it out, but the online psychic Facebook, for some reason, it's not playing ball. Spirits are messing tonight. They proper are messing tonight. Kira, just to follow on from where Mandy was, I got the feeling, I don't know if Mandy got the same feeling, but I got the feeling that the person she was describing is more like a guide that's waiting to work with you. So I don't know if you work with spirit already, or if you're learning to work with spirit at the moment, or thinking about learning, because the allied, again, just to confirm what Mandy said, I do feel is for learning. But I feel that this person that she's describing may be a guide. So you might be able to meet him in meditation, so to speak. Excuse my yawning, sleep apnea. It's not that I'm bored or being rude or anything like that. So yeah, so maybe go into a meditation, or sit and stare at a flame, or maybe look into some water or a crystal ball or something, and see if you can see this gentleman that Mandy's been describing. Been trying to find your abilities. There you go. So that just, so that confirms what Mandy said about the learning, and it also confirms what I picked up as well. Sometimes I can't help pick up when I'm doing the admin and people are reading, but yeah, look out, because I have a feeling that even though you don't know this person knows you. So he's either a distant relative, maybe you'll have to look at the family tree, or he's a guide that's come in and is waiting in the wings to work with you. I would say if he's a man of few words, like Mandy said, it will be some sort of guide, some sort of, like you say, a recluse. Again, it could be somebody in the distant past, an ancestor that's come through to help you that had the gift. So it was like a grandpa to my daughter. There you go. So that'll be him that's come through then. The links to Colombia, I have no idea. That'll be for Mandy to confirm with you. I'm sure if you message her, she will perhaps finish the reading off for you if she can't get back on, Kira. You can find her on Facebook. Its personality matches pretty good, but he was black and he was not a man of few words. Okay. Well, she did say he had sunk his skin. I don't know. I mean, there's all different types of black. My partner's black, but I wouldn't describe him as black. I'd describe him as, well, my daughter described him as the same colour as a Bourbon biscuit when they first met. So, no offence meant to anyone. It was it was the only way she could describe him. So yeah, there's different different shades, isn't there? But and he was not a man of few words. Interesting. Well, again, if you message Mandy, my darling, if she can't get back on, I'm sure she will finish the reading off for you. Like I say, you can find her on Facebook, Mandy Louise Paul. I will pass on your link, her link to you if you want to message me. I'm also on Facebook, Stay Short at 180, I think it is. And there you go. I'm guessing she's not having much luck getting back on. We'll give it another few minutes. You've been working on Julian, just looked up my 3 as grandpa was Moses Lewis, so Mo could be a nickname. Middle initial L, and he lived near a city called Columbia. There you go, Joe. So maybe this message is meant for you then, my darling. Did everything else fit? Yeah, it does sound like it's for Joe, Kira. Thank you. Thank you for speaking up, though. It always gets to the right people eventually. So, Joe, are you on Facebook? Because again, if Mandy can't get on, I will pass on your details to Mandy, or I'll pass Mandy's details on to you, and you can get together and finish off. No, that's fine. Sometimes it does take a minute, especially when you're listening. But that exactly sounds like what Mandy was describing. Was he a man of few words as well? Well, you wouldn't know that, would you, if you didn't meet him? Because I got the impression that from when she was talking to Kira that they knew you, but you didn't know them. Hence the distance. Not Facebook. You can email. What I'll do is, Joe, I'll take your I'm trying to think how you can email if you're not on Facebook, to pass me the email to pass on to Mandy. Don't put it on here, obviously, because it's personal details and it's a public forum. Trying to think. You'll have to jump on next time she's on. She's normally on a Friday, and we'll see if we can do it that way if you're not on Facebook. You heard it from the family stories, yeah. But can you take the learning as well? Can you take there's new study around you, either with yourself or around you? There's some learning going on, and again, I picked up on the fact that it was to do with the spiritual work. So I know you're spiritually aware. I don't know if you're starting to work with spirit or learning how to work. Yes, you are. So that fits with what Mandy was saying as well about the learning and the spirituality. And again, I have a feeling this gentleman's come through to help be a guide and to help work with you. That's the feeling that I got from what Mandy was saying. Mandy may have got the same feeling because she did mention the learning. And being a recluse and the man of few words, most guides or our loved ones in spirit that are helping us to learn how to work with spirit normally start off very quiet. You can have conversations with them, either in meditation or just through your thoughts, your energy thoughts. I always say first thought is spirit, second thought is your ego. So if you're asking something and you get a reply in your head, that will be from spirit. So they also show you symbols and get to work with your symbols and try and highlight the strongest of your senses. So they'll work with your strengths first. and then they'll work on your weaknesses. All right, my lovely. I don't think Mandy's going to be able to get back on, guys. If not, we'll have to reconvene at another time. You're very welcome, Joe. What I'll do is I'll make Mandy aware that you've taken the message. You'll have to find a way to, maybe she can search you up on YouTube or something. Find a way to get your email or message you somehow. If not, it'll have to wait till she's on again. Just let's see what she's doing. I know she's trying to get back on, bless her. Doo. Just wasn't meant to be, was it, today? I hope you've all been enjoying this lovely weather. We've had some lovely weather this week. No, it doesn't look like she's Just give me a second, guys. Sorry. I didn't mean to go quiet on you then.
Hey.
Right, okay, guys. She's got a bit of a problem with the computer. Something about updates. So I'm going to close the live. I've messaged Mandy Joe and let her know that you can take all the information. I'll make sure I'll write your full name for her so she can search you up. And hopefully she'll get back to you with the rest of the message. Like I say, if not, it'll be next Friday, same time, same place, and we'll see you soon. Have a good weekend, everybody. Apologies again, can't be helped. All right, lots of love.